Hey y'all, I kind of want to give a brief update of where I'm at in my faith deconstruction journey. And it's a journey, so I'm not at the end of the road. I'll never be at the end of the road until I'm dead. So, and I'm sorry about the quality. I know it looks hazy. It's my phone screen. My case has like dust in it or something. So where I'm at now, right now, I guess if I had to label myself, which I don't really like to do that because I'm not purely fitting into labels. I don't always agree with absolutely everything of any one label. But what I identify with most is Christ consciousness. So you can like Google and look at that. But basically, I do believe in Jesus. I believe he was grossly misinterpreted. And that the God of the Hebrews is not the correct God. And that Jesus came from the Father to explain the Father and like where they were going wrong. But Christ consciousness, you see it in the New Testament. If you look for it, you will find it. Like Jesus said, seek and ye shall find. You'll find it everywhere. You'll find it in the Bible. You'll find it in the Nag Hammadi Gnostic Gospels, or Gnostic texts, like Gospel of Mary Magdalene and Thomas, Gospel of Thomas and stuff like that. You'll find it in law of attraction. You'll find it in quantum physics. You'll find it in nature. You'll find it everywhere if you start looking for it. And that was the thing that Jesus was trying so hard to get through to people, but he's very limited in what he could explain with their language, and then we're even more limited because we have a translation of that language. He couldn't explain quantum physics. He couldn't explain vibrations, like raising your vibration or anything like that. But Christ consciousness, where I see it in the Bible, is a lot in Paul. So Paul talks about being in Christ and having the mind of Christ. Let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ. That's Christ consciousness. Is plain as day. Is having the mind of Christ. So it's like just being aware of your identity, that you are a child of God. That's what Jesus came to show them. And also, I haven't looked really in depth on this, but this can kind of be a teaser for you guys. Maybe you can go and study this out. But, Jesus says in John, it says in your law, ye are gods. Now, some people would say he was quoting from Psalms there, because Psalm says, ye are gods. But Jesus says it says in your law. Well, the law, they would say the law and the prophets. And they've also said the book of David. I think they've written the book of David in the Bible. But is what they call Psalms. It's like the book of David. But I don't think Psalms was considered the law. The law was like the Torah, and it was like the first 5 books of the Old Testament. Correct me if I'm wrong. So Jesus there, I'm pretty sure, is quoting from Genesis, where it said that man has become as God, knowing good and evil, when he ate the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So he's saying, ye are gods. I feel like that's where he's quoting from. So, like, we became gods when now that we know, like, we're different from animals. We were animals, but now we became gods in that we have this higher vibration, this higher level of consciousness and knowledge. We have language, and we're, like, ever increasing in this consciousness, like, as a species. Think about, how we used to be before we had the printing press, and before we had, like, modern medicine and industrialized agriculture and stuff. Like, now we have artificial intelligence. It's just insane, like, the levels that we've gone. And I believe very strongly that, like, the world is on a verge of something, like, the vibration of people and the earth is changing. I don't see New Earth, New Jerusalem as something that you're gonna see and notice. It just kind of arrives when everyone is ready. So I know some of you will probably think I sound like a New Age Christian. And I think, Orthodox Christians have been taught to fear New Age and any, like, Eastern religions or any universal religions, because in the Bible, in Revelation, we're shown that the Antichrist will come onto the scene, and this is all future stuff. They always say Revelation is in the future and blah, blah, blah. And anyways, the Antichrist is supposed to come on the scene and usher in a one-world religion, universal religion. So, of course, Christians, when you talk about universal religion and, like, world peace and stuff like that, that's, like, their devil. That's their Antichrist. So if you are wrapped up in Orthodox Christianity, you're gonna fear what I'm talking about. Because you're in a fear-based religion. It's a control, fear-based religion. It's what's left over from the Roman Catholic Church. I mean, you are a part of the Roman Catholic Church. You may not think you are, but it is. And that's how they control the masses. That's how. So, they don't want the people to join together in unity and peace. They want there to be holy wars. They want the Muslims and the Christians and the whatever, all that's happening. I have no idea what's happening. I just know that people are fighting and stuff and killing each other. And that's what they want. They being people who have low vibrations. They're not, I wouldn't say they're inherently evil, but everyone has a spark from the Father. Everyone has a fire inside of them, the light. And Jesus came to show them the light, those that sat in darkness. So if there's people who are greedy for money and power and fame and all this material things that will pass away, their light inside of them that they were born with as a child, as an innocent child, they had it, but life circumstances and things have put out that spark inside of them, and they are in darkness. They're blinded. They cannot know the light, hear the truth, hear words from the Holy Spirit or anything like that. But they do have that spark inside them. So I think that those people, they who want the wars and stuff, they're still in power and they're okay with organized religion, Orthodox Christianity, because it's leading to fighting and divisions. There's so many denominations. The church is just like a joke at this point. So I feel like we're in a time where there's a lot of people like me out there, at least my generation, like people who I've talked to who are around my age. I'll be 33 next month. And they are searching, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be open for you. They want to know Jesus personally, and there's so many Christians that say they have a personal relationship with Jesus, but they don't. They don't. They don't know God, and it's impossible to know God. The only way we can know God is through Jesus. He is the way, the truth, and the life. I like to say he's the light, but because he is the light and the word. So yeah, this has been really rambly. But yeah, so I guess I'm like Christ consciousness, and I'm still like learning what all that is, and I don't necessarily agree with all of it, but I do think that like Jesus, Gandhi, Buddha, and I don't even really know what those people stand for and stuff, but they're all kind of like similar in that we do need unity. We do need not universal religion, but universal spirituality, coming together, because like if you think you have it all figured out and you go to another country and you tell them that they're going to burn in hell and they've like never heard that in their life, it's just very like I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't work. But of course you will fear me and you will disregard me if you're an Orthodox Christian because of the universal religion thing, that the Antichrist, like you would say, I am Antichrist. But actually, Antichrist is somebody who says that Jesus has not come in the flesh. That's the Antichrist spirit in one of the books of John. So the books of John are very Gnostic in nature. But yeah, it's hard to explain, like, if you haven't stepped outside Orthodox Christianity, but I'm really glad I did. It's one of the best things I've ever done. Sorry, choking on milk or spit. She's sleeping here. But yeah, there's like so much more freedom after you give up the crutch of religion, the safety blanket, the security blanket of religion. It's a drug. I mean, it kind of is like a drug. You use it once every Sunday, and it like gets you through, and you like have your whole like church family and stuff. But when you're actually faced with death, you see you have nothing. You know nothing. You're very much not at peace when you're about to die. So the only way you can really have peace with moving on into the next life, like letting your soul go, is to really look inside yourself, and also like look all around at the parables that are all around us. Look at light and shadows, because, and then also look in the Bible too, but look at it with a new set of eyes. So like shadows, Hebrews talks about, the Old Testament was a shadow, and the sacrificial system was a shadow of good things to come. A shadow is not real. A shadow like your own shadow is you blocking the light. It's not you, but it's the shape of you blocking the light. And then I looked at Plato's Republic. I ordered the book. What got me looking at it was I was looking at shadows. I was looking at that verse in Hebrews on shadows and the Greek word behind it, and it had like this word inundation. Like, I have no idea what that word is. Really big word. And so I Googled it and looked at it in Wikipedia, and then they had an example. It's basically shadows. And they had an example from Plato's Republic, and it was a little picture of a man who was like trapped in a cave his whole life, and all he ever saw was like shadows from a fire and stuff. And it's like, imagine if he escaped from the cave and he saw the sun, he would not be able to understand it. But that's how we are. That's how humanity was before Christ came. And so just some things to think about. And, you know, as you look around yourself at like nature and animals and just the way things are, and try to like let go of the way things have to be because of the way you were told they have to be. And just search for God, search for Jesus and what he meant, because there's more than just the Bible. If you want to know about Jesus, like, there's a lot in here, and not all of it's good, not all of it's, I would even say not all of the Bible is good, but some of it is. But you don't have to throw the whole thing out because some of it's not good. That's what my ex-pastor used to say. If one part of the Bible is not good or not perfect, we have to throw the whole thing out. And no, I would not say that at all. But if you have the mind of Christ, you will be able to discern truth. Not perfectly, but you'll see the places where you're like, something is not right. Something's not lining up here. Look at in the Bible any time that the Bible conflicts itself. And there's a lot of times. Just do that as an exercise. Just question what you're being taught. For me, what really started getting me out of it, out of like just the total brainwashing, was pre-trib rapture. I just couldn't. I think that's what I started looking into first before I even came out of mid-Acts dispensationalism, was pre-trib rapture. And I mean, Christians are saturated with it. It's ridiculous how much it's not in the Bible. I mean, yeah, pre-trib rapture, that the rapture happens before the tribulation, is not in the Bible. Neither is the tribulation. Neither is the tribulation being 7 years or anything. It's not a period of time. Jesus said, in this world ye shall have tribulation. Like, you're just going to have troubles in general. There's no like time of tribulation or Jacob's trouble or whatever like that. There was a Jacob's trouble already. And I did want to mention this earlier. So Revelation, everyone in pretty much all of Orthodox Christianity, unless you're like a post-mill or a amillennial person, these are like different eschatological views: pre-mill, post-mill, pre-trib, all those things. They just got distracted by a text. Futurism. Christians today are mostly futurists. They say that everything in Revelation is going to happen in the future. This is the biggest problem and causing disunity in the church, because people are like expecting a future Antichrist. They are expecting Jesus to come back. They are just, and that's part of the problem. They're scared of universal spirituality and a coming together with like the Eastern religions, because that they think that signifies the Antichrist. But this is like a made up thing with bits and pieces of the Bible all like strung together, and not really an in-depth study of it. So I guess I just challenge everybody to like, yes, I mean, you can get out of it like Orthodox religion by reading the Bible. That's the crazy thing, is like the Bible will lead you to Christ, and you will see that Christ is way more than just a blood sacrifice. It's his teachings. It's his message. He is the Word made flesh. He is the light, and just what it means to have the light of knowledge, and understanding spiritual things. I heard recently that Jesus was not like a true Orthodox like rabbi or whatever. Obviously he was against the Pharisees. He was more of a mystic, like a Jewish mystic, and that's why he went off alone to pray in the mountains and stuff. And so we as Christians are taught to fear mysticism, and that it's different. Like, we're told, anoint the doors in your home and anoint yourself with oil, but God forbid you burn some sage, that it's any different. Or like do any like Native American customs. It's very much the same. Like, they had their ways of healing people, and what do? We lay hands on them, we cast out the demons, we, things like that. But and on demons now, I do think that demons are actually like things that we've created in our minds. So yeah, I'm way out there, guys. I'm way out there. But yeah, just I've given up on Orthodox religion. It's Sunday. I would have been at church today, but I'm not. I haven't been going for months and months, and I sit and I read the Bible. I read just anything, just whatever. I kind of feel like led to read certain things. You would probably say I was led by a demon to read certain things, but everything's coming together, like the dots, things line up and stuff. And some days I have like huge breakthrough days. Other days, like today, I'm a little bit stuffy, and it's rainy, and I just got the baby with me and none of the other kids, and I just posted a short on my channel. You can go look at it. We just had worship time, me and baby Lydia, and we just praised the Lord in the kitchen and danced around and put our hands in the air, and so yeah, it's nice. It's okay not to fit in. It's because there's a lot of people who don't fit in. So in a way, I do fit in with the people who don't fit in. Like the island of misfit toys, the Christmas thing. But anyways, I hope you have a blessed Christmas, and keep searching for God and for truth and for what Jesus really was talking about and what he embodied, because I do imagine a world where we don't have to like work these jobs that we hate, sitting in front of computers doing like absolutely nothing important, and just going outside in nature and having food there, just as the birds, the sparrows, don't worry about what they need to eat. God takes care of them. Like, I imagine that world, that we could still have that world. That's what I see heaven as, the new heavenly Jerusalem that comes down from the clouds. Jesus was trying to show us, but we're so wrapped up in the material world that we can't understand. And it's really hard to get out of that, out of the beast system that exists here and now, that we're a part of, to exit the matrix, the simulation that we find ourselves in, and just cling to truth and to love. And what can life look like if we are choosing the better things, as Mary did, and not being worried about the small things as Martha was. Grace and peace.